Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Dusty here. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get your podcast on Spotify. So historically, Spotify only allowed certain partnered podcasts to be on their platform, but as of now, the past day or so, they are opening their platform up to all podcasters. All you have to do is provide them with your RSS feed, and so I'm going to be walking you through that today. Now, I do highly suggest that you go watch my Libsyn tutorial on audio hosting and RSS feeds if you don't understand what I'm talking about in this video, but if you do, let's talk about getting your show on Spotify, because right now, it's the percentages of people listening to podcasts on Spotify is only going to increase. So you definitely want to get ahead of the curve here on this. So first thing you want to do is go to podcasters.spotify.com. Now, if you have a Spotify account, you can log into that. If not, go ahead and create one. And then once you're logged into Spotify here, go up to your dashboard or go to Get Started. I actually recommend clicking the Get Started button here. Now, once you're here, it's going to take you to the Submit page. Now, all you need to do is submit your RSS feed, and Spotify basically does the rest of the work for you. So go and click on the green button here. Now, this is going to allow you to read through their terms of service. Make sure you understand that. Also, make sure that you're not using any music that is copyrighted or that is not something that you own. So if you're using music, sound effects, whatever it may be, all of that you have to own. So go ahead and click the I have read and agree to the terms and conditions, and then go ahead and type in your legal name or LLC. I'm going to go ahead and type in my LLC, which is Porter Media, like you see there, and then go ahead and click the green continue button. Now, this next part is the most important part. What's the link to your podcast RSS feed? Now, you have to have a podcast host, whether it be Anchor, whether it be Libsyn. I recommend Libsyn. Again, they are a partner of mine, but they have always been great with answering questions. They're very easy to use. It's very intuitive. If you're not very tech savvy, it's not that difficult. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my RSS feed for my podcast. So I'm going to go to Libsyn, which I have open right here. Here's my podcast, YouTube Creators Hub, Master Online Video. And then once I'm done, what I need to do is go to Destinations. So under Destinations, under Libsyn, you're going to see something here that says Libsyn Classic Feed. I'm going to go ahead and right click on that. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link address just like that. I'm going to navigate back over to Spotify. I'm going to right click here where it says link to RSS feed, and I'm going to paste. That's going to paste in my RSS feed. And then once it loads up your RSS feed, you're going to see the podcast logo information over on the right, and then you're going to click the green next button. Now, before I move on, I would like to say all of the information that's going to be fed over to Spotify, if you can see here under my Spotify section, is more or less going to be copied over from iTunes. So the show title, the country of origin, the English, the language, the description, the categories, all of that is coming from what you've inputted when you put your show on iTunes. Now, if everything looks good with your RSS feed, you'll see the green check mark here that says looking good. Let's keep going. Click the green next button in the lower right-hand side. It's going to ask you a couple of questions about your podcast. Where is your podcast made? For me, it's the United States. What is the primary language spoken in your podcast? For me, it's English. Who is your hosting provider? So for me, as I just mentioned, it's Libsyn. So for you, it may be one of these other ones. And also, if you don't know, go to other I don't know. But by the way, you should know. So select your host there, and then primary category. So for me, it's going to be in business and technology. And then I'm going to choose up to 3 subcategories into business. So for me, marketing, business talk, and then we will go to tech interviews, because I do interviews. You can even add an additional category down here if that's something that you want to do, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Once we've inserted all this information, click the green next button. It'll say, does everything look okay? And it should, because you just did all of this information. Click the green submit button there on the right-hand side of the screen. And then once you do that, you're going to say, nice, we got your podcast. It'll take a few hours for your podcast to show up on Spotify. Now, This looks great. It's very visually appealing, but if we go here and click the track podcast option here, you're going to see that you are now taken to the Spotify for Podcasters beta. Now, this is something that I love. Once we're in here and this podcast starts giving me data, I'm going to be able to see how many people are listening, who's consuming my content on Spotify, and it's so much more in depth than it is on, say, iTunes, where the data and analytics are just terrible. So hopefully you guys found this useful. I know I'm super excited about getting all of my shows over onto the Spotify catalog. Hopefully you are too. If you have any questions or have any thoughts on, podcasting in general, I have a bunch of tutorials. I will link those in the description below. Thank you guys as always for watching my videos, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.